Hello, I'm Chris Polenz, Vice President of Recruiting and host for today's virtual Humanitarian Award recognition ceremony. 11 years ago, I presented our first Humanitarian Award, and since then, we've had the privilege of awarding 17 additional deserving associates and professional drivers with this award. We recognize those who have gone above and beyond the call of duty to give empathy and devotion to others in time of need, often resulting in life-saving efforts. Werner is thankful for their quick thinking and action to bring assistance to those in need. At Werner, we believe averages for other people, and these Humanitarian Award winners are anything but average. Our fleet travels more than 3 million miles every business day. Many of our professional drivers who are interacting with the motoring public on our nation's highways come upon opportunities to stop and assist others. So many of us think about stopping too. The difference is humanitarians actually pull over, and they never think twice about themselves. They selflessly jump in and render assistance in an emergency. To acknowledge these selfless acts of service, compassion for human life, and the desire to do what is right when no one is looking is why Werner created the Humanitarian Award. I'd like to introduce Jim Morbach, our Vice President of Field and Government Recruiting. Jim is also a Humanitarian Award recipient himself. Jim has the honor of introducing our next Humanitarian Award winner, professional driver Grady Parris. Jim?
Thank you, Chris. As Chris mentioned, I'm Jim Morbach, and I have the distinct pleasure of overseeing the Operation Freedom Fleet as part of my responsibilities at Werner. The Operation Freedom Fleet consists of military-themed trucks that show Werner's support for all veterans and their families. They are driven by an elite military veteran group of professional drivers that honor, recruit, and retain military community members by engaging in military and corporate events while hauling freight safely and efficiently. Although we have the highest expectations for our Freedom drivers, there's always something that amazes me with this elite group of veterans. This year is no different. Even during this uncertain time with COVID-19 and the challenges across the industry, our Freedom Fleet is still moving and hauling freight safely and being vigilant of their surroundings. This vigilance is why Grady Parris, driver of Operation Freedom 11, the Remember Everyone Deployed theme truck, is being honored today for a Humanitarian Award. Grady has been a professional driver for Werner for over 8 years. Before joining the Werner team, he served 22 years in the United States Army, where he was decorated with the Bronze Star and the Combat Action Badge. In 2018, because of Grady's history of safe driving, passion for helping our veterans and fellow professional drivers, he was selected to drive an Operation Freedom truck. Grady's truck is part of an exclusive partnership with RED, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. The RED organization supports deployed service members and their families through a nonprofit organization. Grady's actions on April 7th, 2020 displayed pure selflessness, a willingness to take action and service before self, resulting in going above and beyond to care for someone he didn't know. These actions represent Grady's true professionalism. Today, Grady is the recipient of the 2020 Humanitarian Award. Grady, I am so proud of your hard work, dedication, and devotion to helping others. You deserve this recognition for your heroic actions. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, Jim. On the morning of April 7th of 2020, my day started out no different than any other day by knocking out my DVR pre-trip. Had a hot, good cup of coffee in hand, and an hour and a half into my trip, I just saw what looked like an explosion. I mean, there was pieces of vehicle just all over the place. And when I got to the scene, I didn't know exactly what to expect. I was actually expecting it to be a lot worse than what it was. But upon assessing the young lady that was in the car, I knew that we could not get her out of the car, and we might have done more damage attempting it. So myself and then another young lady who happened to be a registered nurse, and I'm really grateful for that, started administering first aid to her. We started talking to her, making sure that there was no other people in the vehicle that might have got thrown out in the accident. And the young lady had stated that she had just dropped her 2 kids off at school and was in the process of texting her mother for dinner plans. So, folks, you know, this award, it means a lot, and I'm honored to receive it, but the actual true award is knowing that the young lady, after some surgery and some rehabilitation, is going to be able to go home to her family every single day now, and hopefully for decades on end. And there's a couple of messages I want to pass on. This is not worth your life. She was texting her mother, and when I picked up the phone, it said, "I love," and a Y. How would your family like to have that last message on the phone? There would have been an extreme amount of grief. She was a young woman with a family, married, 2 kids. I would encourage any professional driver out there to go pick up a first aid kit. It don't have to be extravagant. It don't have to be fancy. It don't have to be expensive. But you never know when you're going to need it. You know, just one of them off-the-counter first aid kits. But it just goes to show you never know what your day entails. So please take the time. If anything, take a couple messages out of this. Leave the cell phones down, and please continue to drive Werner. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to turn it over to our Vice Chairman, President, and Chief Executive Officer of Werner Enterprises, Mr. Derek Leathers. Derek?
Thanks, Grady. I truly believe that we have the best drivers in our fleet, and Grady, you're a perfect example. You didn't have to pull over and assist at the scene, but you did. Your actions may have helped save that woman's life and provided her comfort when she needed it most. Our Operation Freedom Fleet not only represents our support for our military and their families, but those drivers are also what Werner is all about. Professionalism, selflessness, and helping others. Grady, you are a true humanitarian, and I'm proud to know you. Let this be an example to others about what Team Blue represents. This event is just one example. Many of our drivers have been in situations where they needed to assist, and they did so without hesitation. I want to thank you, Grady, for safely keeping America moving. Everyone at Team Blue thanks you as well. Stay safe in all your travels, and thanks for driving blue.